Wow, that was difficult. We had technical difficulties this morning, but good morning and welcome to Morning Coffee with Sandy. Somehow I kept getting a message that said no live streaming, but here we are. We're streaming and we're live. Oh, it's cleanup time. Why do I say that? Well, I think I've mentioned to some of you, or at least on my personal page, that after 6 years in my beautiful townhouse, it's time to move on. So I put my house up for sale, moving in here instead with my significant other. And I live in the desert. People are trying to get out of the cities right now with COVID. So my house sold, bam, it goes into escrow tomorrow. It's been less than a week. I mean, just days. And whew, wow, that's all I can say. I don't know about you, but I have my stuff and I have my mother's stuff and, well, some of the kids' stuff and friends' stuff and strangers' stuff. And I mean, seriously, going through what has to get packed and moved and donated and thrown away and offered as gifts, it's like, I'm sorry, but it's like everything I have, I had 2 and 3 of. I mean, how many coffee makers, toasters, vacuum cleaners, ice buckets? How many of those things does a person need? Not that many. They want a quick escrow. I have 1 month to put my life in order. This is going to be so exciting. I said exciting because I'm not sleeping. So I'm working with some help to turn this experience from, oh my God, what am I going to do? I'll never get it all done. And I don't know, to, wow, this is exciting. What an opportunity to like go through the things I have and decide what I really value. Woohoo. Yeah, it's not working yet. I didn't sleep again last night. I was up at 2:15 again this morning and unable to fall back asleep with all the things in my head. But this too shall pass because I'm very strong-minded, very positive, and I'm very excited. This is a good thing. And I'm very much in love. Good morning. Whew. Okay, so speaking of selling my house, in 1867, the United States bought Alaska from the Russian government for $1.7 million. No, $7.2 million. You could these days get like a really big estate for that price, but not a whole state like Alaska that's big as some countries. And by the way, I don't know if we have anybody in What Do I Say, What Do I Do from Alaska, but if you have friends up there, invite them to join. I want to spread up there. Went on a cruise to Alaska. What an opportunity, huh? My mother wanted to go and she offered to take me. And I said, I can't go without Max. So my mother, who was in her 90s at the time, my grandson, who was like 6 at the time, maybe, yeah, about 6, and I went with my brother, his girlfriend, my niece, my nephew, their baby, my nephew, my other niece, and their 3 kids, and we all went on a cruise. Now, you would have thought with all those people, it would have been hectic. It was. It was one of those like crazy cruises where if you read about it, you would say, yeah, that didn't all happen. Like, we missed the boat, literally. Yeah, we missed the boat. The plane had a problem, it doesn't matter. Bottom line is, it only made the whole adventure more of an adventure. But my mother got sick on the cruise. And since I was the one taking care of her, that meant that I was spending most of my time with her in the infirmary, right? So in the morning, people in my family would say things to me like, "Did you see the whales last night?" And I'd have to say, "No, I was in the infirmary." "Oh, right, sorry." And then the next day it would be, "Did you see the ice caps? And did you see the this? And did you?" I feel like I missed Alaska. However, it was still a great trip. And by the time we got like to the farthest north, south, whatever it was, we saw some great places. So I'm not complaining. It was still amazing. My grandson and I have this thing that we say to each other all the time. "I love you more than turkey bacon. I love you big as the sky, more than turkey bacon, and all the way to Canada." I don't know how that started, but on this trip, this cruise to Alaska, we actually got to Canada. And Max and I could not stop laughing because we loved each other all the way to Canada. That might have been the highlight of our trip, being in Victoria. That was awesome. We had a great time. I have tons of pictures. Anyway, happy birthday, I guess, to Alaska. What can I say? We're glad you're part of us. And hola to Canada. It's 13 days till Halloween. Do you have your costumes ready? Yeah. 16 days to Election Day. Have you voted? And it's 19 days until my birthday. Woo! I love my birthday. I'm like already starting to celebrate. Seriously, I love my birthday. My mother always said that whatever age you are is the perfect age to be. And I believed her. So I've never been concerned about getting older. I think it's pretty cool. So what is today? Today is National Chocolate Cupcake Day. So I guess that means you know what to have for dinner tonight, right? I like to give you like some clues, and tonight it would be chocolate cupcake night. It's also National No Beard Day. There's also another day in September that's National Beard Day, and then there's Movember, which is mustache time. Hair is a very important thing, apparently. It's also National Pretzel Month. So here's a weird thing. Down in Mexico, we're on a trip, significant other, me, and Max, because I love to take Max with me. And we were staying near the beach, and we wanted some snacks. And we started looking because we all wanted pretzels. They didn't have pretzels. They didn't even know what we were talking about. So we went into the next town to a grocery store. No pretzels. So those of you who are from Mexico, can you help me with this? Do you not eat pretzels in Mexico? Is that not a thing? Speaking of which, have you ever had pretzel bread? Oh my God. It's amazing. Pretzel rolls. You make rolls out of pretzel dough with salt on the top. It is also Eat Better, Eat Together month. Now, there's a really good idea, isn't it? I know growing up we had rules. I don't know about in your house, but in our house, dinner time particularly was a big deal because we all sat down together to eat. That was the rule. You had to be there for dinner. You had homework? Great. Do it before, do it after, not during. No phone calls during dinner. None. That was a time for the family to sit down and talk about our day. I know it might sound a little harsh, but talk about current events. Talk about what was on our mind. If we had an altercation with a sibling, this was the time that you made a request for family court. Yeah, I'm serious about that. We had family court. If you had a bitch, you brought it to court. And the judge, my father, did have the power to make a decision, but more often than not, you could require trial by jury, and everyone had a vote. It was like really cool, I gotta tell you. And most of the time, my father was strict, but he was fair. Yeah, family court. Oh, but dinner time, there were rules. I mean, besides the telephone thing, if you had an ear of corn, you had to eat every kernel off the ear of corn. It had to be clean before you left the table. Same with lamb chops. That bone, no dog would want that bone afterwards. It had to be that clean. Oh, and for picky eaters like me, dinner time could be kind of traumatic, because if my mother served something I didn't like and I didn't want to eat it, I had to sit there at the table long after everyone else was gone until I ate what was before me. And if in desperation my parents had to send me to bed, that was what I was served for breakfast. Yeah. But I was very stubborn, and frequently I just didn't eat. But you can see it didn't hurt me. I'm still here. And I still have, like some things that I just don't eat. We don't have to talk about that, but there's some things I just don't like. I love vegetables, by the way, pretty much any vegetable. Not a big fan of stewed tomatoes, unless it's like in spaghetti sauce or something. Anyway, I think it's really important for a family to have a meal together, at least one meal together, and sit down and have it be a conversation time and not rush it. Yeah. And remember where that food came from and how lucky you are to have it, to appreciate what you have, and to have everybody pitch in with cleaning up afterwards. I got to tell you this quick story. So back in, I'm going to say it had to be the late 50s, because we moved like by 60 or 61. We got our first dishwasher. It was like so exciting, right? So this box arrives, and my father, who could do anything, is, like installing it. And my older brother and I are just like jumping up and down. We are so excited. And we noticed that my little brother was sitting on the couch kind of sobbing. And we asked him what was wrong. And he said, "You guys wash dishes, so you're really excited to get a dishwasher. But my job is drying the dishes. Why couldn't we get a dish dryer too?" Yeah, my baby brother is Social Security age, and we're still teasing him about that one. So what else? 1952, Mad Magazine came out. We've talked a lot about Mad Magazine here because I was such a big fan. But I got to tell you, I ordered it for my grandson for Hanukkah last year, 9 years old. I thought, perfect time to read Mad Magazine. My daughter wrapped them all up and gave them back to me and said, "My son is not reading this magazine. Not yet. He is not old enough." Never thought of Mad Magazine as being inappropriate for children. Apparently it's changed, but it's still hilarious. What? Me worry? No. In 1968, Circus Circus opened in Las Vegas. Woohoo! Have you been there? It's so much fun. Yeah. Here we go with traveling with Max again. But Max and I go to that arcade. We can't stop. Okay, but here's another secret. My significant other, yeah, he's a pinball junkie. So remember the Pinball Wizard thing? They actually had that contest. He won. He was the Pinball Wizard. So when we go to Vegas, he's got to go to Circus Circus and play pinballs. Yeah. In fact, not too far from here, like an hour away, there's a pinball museum that has literally thousands of pinball machines. And you pay a fairly hefty price, but then you can be there all day and play all the machines you want for free. It's like heaven for a pinball junkie. Yeah. Are you a pinball junkie? I'm not, but I think they're fun. What else? Happy birthday to Leo G. Carroll. Do you know who he is? See, if you're not old, you probably won't even remember the show Topper. But he was Cosmo Topper, and I loved him. He was also in The Man from U.N.C.L.E. He was like the boss in The Man from U.N.C.L.E. But I liked him in Topper back in the old days. George C. Scott, famous actor. Patton was my favorite thing he ever did. I really thought he was Patton. But you know who else's birthday is today? Lee Harvey Oswald. Now there's a guy who made some history for us, huh? Yeah. Also in 1951, Pam Dauber was born. A lot of you probably don't know who she is, and I don't even know if she's still working, but she was Mindy in Mork and Mindy with Robin Williams. And she was just so sweet and cute and so nice to Mork, right? I mean, how could you not love Mindy? Happy birthday, Pam Dauber. This is the day that Thomas Edison died. We can thank him probably for us being able to do what we're doing right now. That's pretty cool. And one other person that I want to remember was Gwen Verdon, dancer, actress and dancer. Now, I can't say I was like a huge fan of hers, but she was in a movie I absolutely loved because it was the movie that my family went to see for I want to say my 11th birthday, maybe my 12th. It was called Damn Yankees. If you haven't seen it, you should go see it. I convinced my family that that would be the perfect movie for all of us because they thought it was a war movie. It wasn't. It was about the Yankees baseball team. You should see it. It's a musical, and it's so good. Damn Yankees, Gwen Verdon. About that same time, by the way, when we first moved to California, we used to take turns picking what movie we would go see. It was my turn, and I picked a double feature. I guess movies were different in California than in Illinois. Maybe we didn't have refrigerated, air-conditioned theaters because I picked a double feature. So we went to see Guns of Navarone and Cooled by Refrigeration. Yeah, we all thought that was the name of the second movie. I'm going to leave you with that thought. Clean it up. I have a lot of work to do, and I plan to get to it right away. Well, after tennis. See you tomorrow. Have a great Sunday. See you in church. Some of you are in church. See you Monday. Bye-bye.